G'day everybody and welcome back to the channel. I've got another e-bike in here to repair today. This e-bike's got a few little problems, so I'm going to start off with the first little problem, which is a very little problem. This cable is hanging out by its wires. So I'm going to open the battery pack up and get that back in. It looks like there's silicone glue hanging out of here, so I think it was only ever siliconed in there from factory. This looks terrible, but it is a Temu bike. I'm not surprised. I take it that's the heatsink for the controller, because the entire battery and the bike's controller is all in this one unit. Anyway, I'll sort this out and then we'll get on with the bike. Alright, I tried to get into the battery, but because someone stole this bike, that's why I've got to fix it. This kid that lives up the road from my mate, or should I say across the road, stole his bike, absolutely mangled the key, still couldn't get into it, the dumbass. Seriously, like, this kid is a dumb shit. And, yeah. Who does this? Anyway, to rip the wire out and everything. I told my mate when he takes this to a locksmith and gets the lock fixed, just to bring it back to me and I'll fix this up. I tried mangling it a bit more myself to get into it, but I can't get into it, and I don't want to bust the plastic up because then you won't be able to put a new lock in it. Surprisingly, it's not busted up yet. Alright, well, I'll go get the rest of the bike in here and we'll continue with the rest of the repairs. Here's the bike. I'd say my mate didn't put this padlock on here because he's not that silly. The kid probably did that, but stole it to try and stop someone from pinching it from him. Anyway, all this is busted up. That's one of the inserts for this thing. I don't know where the other one is. And there's nothing I can even do to fix that. My mate's going to have to, I don't know, order a screen, see if he can get the rubbers, bodge it with tape. I don't know what to say. That is bullshit. Excuse my language, but this isn't even my bike and it's pissing me off. I don't know. Yeah, well, actually, I do know how pissed my mate was, because he told me. I'm not going to repeat what he said or what he did on here, because it wouldn't be a good place to do that, but I will say that I probably would have done the same thing. Yeah, I will say that. Don't come to my place and steal my stuff. It won't end well for you. Wow, the kid's ripped out the cable. It's not even, I just thought I had to join broken plugs. No, the cable's not even in the throttle. Far out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that. It just depends how mangled up the hall sensor and the little PCB in there and everything is, you know. I'm fine with opening this up. It's pretty easy to trace the wires out. You've usually got 5 volts ground and then some signals. That should be quite easy to work out. The hall sensor that's in there will be 3 wires. Anyway, what else? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got bent pins in a connector. Also, the side of the connector's missing. That will be alright. My mate will be able to use that still, because my mate will be careful. I mean, it's his bike. I'm sure if he owned it for ages and none of this happened until someone stole it, he'll be fine. You gotta be shitting me. Sorry, I'm just in shock. Hello? All those pins aren't bent, so that's good. I thought I saw a bent pin as I said that, and I was going to say, no, hold on a second, there's one. No, that's good. What about the motor? Okay, so that's good too. Sorry, I know my camera's not focusing very well. Alright, well, that's the damage. So I've got to straighten some pins and try and fix a throttle for now, so let's get into it. Even the bloody kickstand's loose on this thing. Alright, so that's been done a few times before. One of the bolts snapped as soon as I went to torque it down with like literally no force at all. And the other bolt, all the threads were chafed up. Anyway, that is back on now, so let's continue. Alright, I got the pins straightened out in this, so that can accept the plug now. I know it's hard to see on camera, but oh, there they are. They are straight now. So now, last but not least, yes. Let's pull this apart and see if I can fix it or not. I've got a bad feeling I can't, but we'll still give it a try. I swear this is the gift that keeps on giving, this one. Even this is missing a screw. Wow. This bike is trashed. What's bike and magic holds you together? Oh, well. Looks like we're in luck. Looks like my friend's in quite a bit of luck. Because not only I have the Y colours, but the little hall sensor board appears to be fine. I'm just trying to think how I should go about this, however. I think I'm going to take them off and solder a new cable to them. This switch has got one contact missing off the back of it, so we'll see if we've got a switch. This is just bloody weird. How do you get that out? There is literally something that connects the button to the switch. You'd think, you know, like the button just presses the switch. No, look at this. That went in the button. And I've dropped the button. Ah, God. I don't know why everything disappears in this place, but everything disappears in this place. Yep, completely vanished into oblivion. Great, that's not mine. I can't just go, oh well, whatever, it's a 2-cent piece of plastic. No, I need that. Oh, goodness. Right, there's the button. So, as I was saying, one of the switch contacts is broken off. This is a sealed switch. It doesn't have like a half you can pop out. Actually, the top looks like you could pop it out. But I might be able to take my Dremel and Dremel around that there and expose just enough to solder another wire onto that. We'll have to see. Yeah, that's not about to snap off either, the other pin. I'll try and save this. Obviously, my main focus is on saving the hall sensor. The magnet and the rest of the mechanism's still in there, so that's good. I'm just going to go get a cable that's got 5 cores. Alright, so I got a bit of cable here. It's only got 3 cores in it, but the guy didn't really care about the bell. So I didn't have any 5-core, and this is all he had lying around from his bikes. So this will do. We can hook the hall sensor up. So we've got, in order going from back to front, red, black, yellow is the order the wires are soldered down to the board. back to front. So the thing that's going to be a little bit tricky I'll get to it in a sec. There we go. The thing that's going to be a little bit tricky is I've got to get something like this piece of steel that they've wrapped around the wire to stop the wire from getting pulled out the hole, because that will happen so quick on an e-bike, it's not funny. I mean, that won't last any time at all. There's some glue on the board too that the wires have got over them, but the soldering iron will melt all that off. I'll get the wires out first. That way I've got some room and I can start eyeing up how this is going to go. Kind of looks like I want to get my cable in like that, and actually doesn't the cable come out the bottom? What? Yeah, the cable comes out the bottom. I'm sure it's supposed to. I don't see this repair lasting too long. Have to have a good think about that. I might pack it with epoxy too or something, I don't know. I'll work it out. I won't. No matter what I have to do to it, I'll get it back together. I'm not having luck melting this glue. Oh yeah. Yeah, it does come out. Alright. No, don't tell me. Ah, damn. You gotta be shitting me. Oh, I don't even know how to tell him. Oh well, it was already broken. That's 4 SMD components and I just wiped them off. Let's see if we can get the board out. I might still be able to save this. Alright, I've got the little hall sensor module out. Okay, it appears it was just the one resistor. Okay, so still savable. I've got the resistor right here. It's a bit messy, but I mean, as long as it still resists, that's all good. Doesn't matter if the value is still printed on it or not. Both of its ends are still healthy. Let's see. If I can get that back on. This is very difficult. Well, I got it on. It's it's a little bit ugly, but I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. Alright, I just had a little look to make sure that I could work out which way this goes in there. And I can, so I'm going to just go for this and then just glue it back in, wrap some steel around the wire like it originally was, put some glue in there. I'll make sure it's, not coming out. So let's go for it. My mate intends on fixing this properly when he gets some money. He's just broke at the moment, is what he said. So I guess let's help him out. At least he'll be able to ride his e-bike for a bit, And then hopefully before it fails again, he can get his parts. I need to go get some water for my sponge. Alright, so from the back, it goes in like this. If I hold it like that, the pad there at the back is the back. I do have helping hands, but I think I'll be alright. Oh, it's not black at the back, it's red. Oops. Don't know why I had it in my mind that it was black. Black and back, it just sounds right, Back in black. I almost took the capacitor off again. Alright, let's get this red wire on. Oh, I did, I moved it. Well, now it's on there properly. Cool. See, everything happens for a reason. Oh, I'm going to get the helping hand. This is not working for me. Sorry about the noise. It's absolutely ridiculous living next to this guy. Red, black, then yellow. Black. And yellow. Yellow was a bit of a dry joint, so I just fixed that up. Alright, well, that hall sensor has a cable on it now, and that hall sensor fits in a little slot in here. So if I just feed it, oh, wrong way, feed it in the slot, yeah, there it is, see? It just goes in there. Now, now for the interesting part. I need to work out a restraint mechanism. Now, pretty much anything goes here because it's not like the original restraint method was anything high tech. It's literally a piece of, I wouldn't call it tire wire, it's more like fence baling wire, but that's just a bit of baling wire wrapped around the cord tight. So let's go mix up some epoxy for that hall sensor for starters. Alright, I'm out of epoxy, but I do have some of that contact cement left that I used to secure a few things in the back of this multimeter that I converted to battery. And that stuff is strong as. It's pretty much like this stuff that they used. Oh no, that's silicone. I thought there were two types of glue in here. There is. There's something that's like contact cement here and there's silicone here. Anyway, they only use the silicone to keep it waterproof. Obviously this isn't going to be perfectly waterproof anymore, but that's okay. Although, if I get this all covered, it will be waterproof again. Let's just do that. I have to get something to poke that glue in there. Oh no, it's running in on its own. But it's not going under the cable on its own. Hello, little man. I shouldn't encourage him. Alright, that is completely all around that PCB. That is waterproof again. It's amazing how something can be so messed up, but if you take your time and you really pull it apart, even mangled plastic, you can still fix it. Alright, now let's work out what we can do for the cable restraint, because it's not just going to stay like that. I think I'm going to use this bottom hole here to run the cable out, and here's why. I could use that or that or that, but it leaves me room to take my cable and go like this with it and then put it out that hole, if that makes sense, like so, and that will give it a bit of relief already. I just need to put something essentially in the middle of the cable and make sure it can't leave the cable. I'm going to go have a look around and see what I got. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I've come up with an idea. I'm going to take the cable, get something sort of like a former, I'm going to do one loop. Bugger. I just ripped the board out. How did I not think of that? Now I've got to sort the glue out again. Or do I? It's actually still glued in perfectly. There's not much in there. I'll still put a little bit more in afterwards anyway. How am I going to do this? It's on me too. This stuff is sticky. Alright, so I want to sort of loop the cable up. Oh, this is tricky. Very tricky. You know what? If I do that, yeah, that's going to work good. I just need to get this around the cable now inside so that it can't leave the circle that I've made it into, if that makes sense. It doesn't need to be strong because this is just to hold it in place whilst the glue dries. I'm going to fill this with glue. So I'm just trying to make a fairly stout wire tie sort of thing. Not through the wire, like so. So that I can pack it all in there, like that. And then pack glue in there and put the cover on. That is my plan. I mean, hey, look, most people probably wouldn't even try and fix this. It was so mangled, so I think this is quite reasonable for what it is. And I'll put a little bit more over that sensor. I'll run down in there. All right, let's case it up. Now we just have to join the other end of the wire. Are these wires the same colour as what I had in there? Got lucky on that. All right, that works good. Hey, it is what it is. It's not brilliant, but that will stay in there. I don't see that ever going anywhere, to tell you the truth. And that copper's not going to move and poke out or anything because that's all wrapped up in epoxy, this contact cement. So that's just going to dry hard like a rock. Anyway, you'll never see that. Maybe you'll see it. Yeah, you probably will see it. That's where the button was. Oh well. Yeah, the button doesn't work anymore anyway. Main thing is, this works. That's the important thing. Alright, I'll get the bike back in here and we'll have a look at the bike because we've got to join the cable now. Oh, well, the guy's going to be happy. He's going to be able to ride his bike. I was getting close to condemning that at one stage, but I realised it was fixable and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Alright, now we're on this piece. I've already cut the plug off. Here's a tip: when you cut plugs off things, try and cut some of the boot off with the plug. That way you can get the maximum length of cable. You know, because there's obviously a centimetre of cable inside that boot. You can always just cut the boot off or strip it off with the cable if it's a prick like this one. I'm just going to cut it off the cable so that it fits in my style of wire cutters easily, but you can do what you want. You don't have to do this, but if you're running out of cable, you know, it's a good idea. Alright, let's strip that and find the same 3 wires. They should be the same colour in there, with 2 extra wires. So red, black and yellow it was. There they are. These 2 wires should be for the button. Now, because I've actually got some length here, I'm just going to cut these off, and if it's wrong, I'll re-strip it one more time and work out which is which. But I wouldn't advise doing that normally because, as I was trying to show before, you want to save as much cable as you can. Alright, so I'm just going to install this back on the handlebar temporarily. Oh, you know what, I'll just put it on properly. Alright, that's that mounted. I've mounted it with the cable sort of coming up on an angle so that the hole that I've left there is facing down so it doesn't fill up with water. Now we've got that. Let me just wrap this cable, route the cable around the other cables. One moment. That'll do. You know what? One more. Yeah, cool. That's good. Let's join it up. I want to join it. Yeah, that I'm happy with. All right. Wow, that strips the black wire for me. I'll just carefully open this up a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to need more than that. Still got to get heat shrink on here. There we go. That will do. Black wire's already ready for us. I'm going to have to strip that a little bit longer. Oh, you know what? No, I can get the heat shrink on the other end, other side. And yes, that's still my neighbours, you can probably hear outside. Alright, let's tin them up and join them and heat shrink them. Okay, I got some heat shrink ready. I think I'm just going to go for it like that. I'll get the hot air on that. I'm just doing that temporarily so it doesn't fall down. Shrinking it with the heat from the soldering iron. You'd be surprised, back in the day, that's how everybody used to do heat shrink. Though probably a lot of you won't be surprised because you're probably from back in the day. No, I'm not trying to call people old, I'm sorry. I actually, and I'm seriously not just saying this, I mean, I actually appreciate age over youngness these days with the way everything's going in this world. Young generation's off their rocker. And the stuff people are doing, it's just ridiculous. I thought we were bad when we were young. Man, I find out stuff people are doing now and I go, what? Oh, I need to get a better position. I can barely fit here. I'm basically leaning over the handlebars because I've got nowhere to stand. That's a fail. If I can clean it up. Oh no, I've lost my heat shrink too. You gotta be kidding me. I thought that was a dry joint. That looked like it was going to dull up. And it's beautiful. If I can get this heat shrink over it. Oh, I can. Nice. I like it. I'm just going to get the hot air. Oh, my back is killing me leaning over like this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh my god, I'm going to have to tape this up. I wanted to put a heat shrink on the outside. I've really screwed up here, haven't I? I could redo it all. If I unwrap the cable, I would have enough cable, but I don't really think there's any point in it because, I mean, I'm pretty sure my mate's going to end up getting a new throttle for this and then coming over and asking me to put the new throttle on. So this is only going to be a temporary repair, I guess, whilst he's out of money. So I'll just continue doing what I'm doing. I mean, honestly, even if the tape did come off, it's not like it's just going to stop working. The wires are soldered and still heat shrunk. If this was permanent, yeah, I'd just cut it and redo it. But I just don't want to keep shortening the cable. The cable goes into the frame, disappears. Alright, I'll go get some tape and tape that up, but I think what I might do is plug the battery in first and see how this goes. Not that I can even attach the battery to the bike. Actually, I don't even know how I'm going to plug this in. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that because there's nowhere to put the battery and I don't want the battery hanging off the side of the bike and then the bike moves and then it rips more cables out the battery pack or something. I'll just take this up and get my mate to test it. He only lives around the corner, so if there's something wrong, the bike's just going to be straight back. I'm going to put just absolutely a ridiculous amount of tape on this because I feel bad about forgetting the heat shrink. Alright, done. No, I'm joking. I'm nowhere near finished. In fact, this end I didn't get much tape down here. So I want it nice and tight. I'm trying to build up a nice lump here so that it can't bend and break the wires. And I've successfully done that. I'll tell you what, I actually know a little trick that will make this never come off. And I know what you're saying, hold on a minute, that's just electrical tape, how can it never come off? Some of you probably already know where I'm going with this. You end where you finish wrapping the tape up, you put a cable tie around it and do it up really tight. The tape can never unwrap past the cable tie, and the rest of it, it's done up around itself, so that can never come open now. Alright, well that concludes this video. Like I said, it's nothing special this video, it's just a little bodgy repair to get a bike back on the road whilst my mate gets money together to fix it properly. So that concludes the video. If you like what you see, give me a like and a sub, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.